All right, and with this sprue tree right here, which is the beginning stage of the lost wax casting process, we can actually dispel the myth of moms and dads everywhere throughout time that yes, money does grow on trees. You just gotta make it happen. What I'm doing is setting the oxygen to propane mixture because you actually don't want too much oxygen in your mix. It will oxidize the metal. And we're set with a nice bushy flame. I'm going to go ahead. We're just doing a single machine, nothing major. This is actually a machine that's solely for Tony Moran, which was Michael Myers in Halloween 1 and 2. This is the machine we actually hand carved the signature into, so this one's going to him. So sorry for the wait, Tony. We're getting it to you, baby. Now we're going to have Christina come in, and she's going to set the flask in place again on this casting. And we're moving the flame to make sure that my metal has still got a good gloss to it for a second or so. And that lets me know that I'm at a good molten temperature. And then I'm going to get good flow out of the metal. This is called a centrifugal caster. I'm going to come in with a flux or crucible, and this is just a different shaped crucible. Yep, there you go. All right, good. Scoot the crucible back. Beautiful. Yep. We're going to give it a quick stir. Make sure. We're going to have to let it set a little bit longer. We got a little pull during the transfer. And we've got a good gloss. We drop the pin, and we're going to fade back a bit. This is the old school way of casting. This was introduced, if I'm not mistaken, back in the Bronze era, actually. Before that, in line with this type of method, blacksmiths and metalsmiths actually took a bag that had contained their model and the investment, and they would actually use sand and manure and straw and other things like that to actually make the flask casting, and they would actually inject metal into it, high temperature metal, and wing that thing over the top of their head. So I would imagine back in the day, a couple guys got a little burned up. All right, we're gonna go ahead and set this guy up on end in just a second. You're fine. We're just gonna pull it up, ouch, and allow it to cool a little bit. And let me get right behind you real quick. Nice and gently set it down. And now we'll run the moment of truth and see how this bad boy came out. Yep, make sure you watch fingers and toes, kiddies. And we're just going to let that guy hang out and bubble in his little jacuzzi bath. And now we are cleaning the excess investment off of the machine. And this is white bronze, fresh out of a flask. This is what all your jewelry and stuff looks like when it's first cast. And we have a nice, pretty Michael. And actually came in and did just a little bit of bio-texturing on this one for Tony Moran. That way any other ones that are ever produced won't look anything at all like his. He gets the one-of-a-kind entirely. And these extra pieces that you see coming off are called sprues. And as you looked at it in the flask, that's actually the metal pours in, and then you have a sprue that feeds the metal. These are secondary sprues, and they just come in and feed other areas that I want to make sure gravity is going to distribute the metal evenly to. And this is a nice, pretty casting. I can see the hand-carved signature that Tony Moran did for us. And once this is ran through a vibratory tumbler, which is a really aggressive tumbling setup, it'll pull all these dark spots. This is called fire scale, and that's from oxidation. So as you see, it's pretty minimal. That's why we use the fluxing and the when I come in and actually scrape the slag off of the metal, we want as clean of a metal as possible. We don't want any other burned up trace alloys in the mix. So this one came out pretty good. You can already see a little shine starting to happen. And that's just from a toothbrush. Get some of that fire scale off the top, and you can actually see the signature, and you can see H1 and everything in it. All right, now that we've got that part done, we're gonna come in. We're gonna get a tiny bit more aggressive on this guy. This is always my first stage to wire wheeling. It's just going to help pull some of that oxidation. You see it already coming off. That's just fire scale. And once I get it cleaned up, you can actually see the detail that this process of casting or machine making actually allows for. And this is why we're being able to get the dimension and the details that we actually are in our pieces. And if you can get a halfway shot of it, if your lighting is correct, you'll see the Tony Moran signature that he carved into the top. And that was his first carving by chance. And there we go. That's basically it. And then all I do is I'll come in and I'll take a jeweler's saw and saw off these sprues. And then sand down. I've got a little variable speed sander that I use, which is actually pretty nifty. It's my newest toy, love it. I mean tool, excuse me, tool. And I'll come in, file those down, get everything evened up on the bottom of that spring saddle right there, or spring deck, and go from there. Yep. And this is the final model. Welcome to the third dimensional taxi.